I hope you are well, healthy, and safe. Today, we are going to talk about something that touches the lives of almost every woman at some point. Something that quietly drains your energy, holds you back from your true potential, and makes you question your worth. That something is self-doubt. It is subtle, yet powerful. It creeps into your mind in the form of thoughts like, am I good enough? Am I capable? Or why would anyone take me seriously? These thoughts are not your truth. They are signals, messages that reveal where your mind feels insecure, where your heart seeks reassurance, and where your courage has yet to be fully exercised. But here is the truth. The very self-doubt that makes you question yourself can become the fuel that transforms you into a woman of unshakable confidence. The first step toward this transformation is awareness. You cannot change what you do not notice. Self-doubt is often invisible at first because it disguises itself as reasonable caution or humility. It whispers in your ear so softly that you begin to accept it as fact. But when you take a moment to observe these thoughts without judgment, you create a space between yourself and the doubt. This space is where your power begins. Awareness allows you to see self-doubt for what it truly is, a visitor, not your identity. It is a temporary sensation, not a permanent definition of who you are. By recognizing it, you no longer hand it control over your emotions, your decisions, or your actions. You become the observer of your mind instead of a prisoner to its insecurities. Awareness also helps you understand the source of your doubts. Often, self-doubt stems from past experiences, comparisons, or societal pressures. Perhaps it comes from a time when you were criticized, overlooked, or underestimated. Maybe it emerges when you look at the successes of others and forget your own journey. Once you identify where these thoughts come from, you realize that they are echoes of the past, not truths about your present or your future. Awareness gives you the clarity to separate yourself from these old messages and begin reclaiming your confidence. Another important part of this first step is noticing the patterns. Self-doubt tends to show up repeatedly in the same situations. When you speak up in a meeting, when you try something new, or when you set boundaries in relationships. Each time it arises, it is an opportunity to pause, breathe, and remind yourself that you are capable. Each moment of awareness weakens the hold self-doubt has over you and strengthens the foundation of your confidence. This is the first victory. Awareness is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. It is the moment you begin to take control of your mind instead of letting your mind control you. By becoming aware of your self-doubt, observing it without fear, and understanding its patterns, you start to create the first layer of unshakable confidence. You begin to see that your worth is not defined by fleeting thoughts or external opinions. You begin to recognize the truth. You are capable, you are strong, and you are deserving. This awareness is your gateway. The moment you fully embrace it, you take the first step on a journey that will transform self-doubt into your greatest ally, and your inner strength will begin to shine. The second step in transforming self-doubt into unshakable confidence is learning to challenge your inner critic. Awareness alone is not enough. Once you recognize the doubts that creep into your mind, the next step is to confront them, not with anger, but with clarity and courage. Self-doubt often exaggerates reality. It takes small mistakes, fleeting moments of hesitation, or even past failures, and turns them into proof that you are not enough. It convinces you that you are incapable, unworthy, or unprepared. But when you challenge these thoughts, you strip them of their power. Begin by asking yourself simple questions every time self-doubt arises. Is this thought based on fact or fear? What evidence do I have that proves this is true? Often, when you answer honestly, you discover that your inner critic is presenting possibilities, not truths. Doubt thrives on assumptions and exaggeration. By questioning it, you bring light to what was previously hidden, and light weakens fear. You transform the inner dialogue from one of judgment and limitation to one of understanding and possibility. Another way to challenge self-doubt is by keeping a mental record of your accomplishments. Think back to moments in your life when you overcame challenges, when you took risks, or when you achieved something you once thought impossible. Every achievement, no matter how small, is proof that you are capable. When self-doubt tries to convince you that you cannot, remind yourself of these victories. Anchor yourself in evidence, not imagination. Confidence grows when your mind is trained to respond with facts instead of fear. It is also essential to practice reframing your thoughts. Instead of saying, "I cannot do this," ask, "What can I learn from this challenge?" Instead of believing, "I am not ready," say, "I am preparing myself every day to become stronger." Reframing shifts your perspective from limitation to opportunity. Each time you do this, your mind begins to see challenges as tools for growth rather than threats. Doubt loses its grip because it thrives on negative thinking and hopelessness. Reframing replaces fear with empowerment. Challenging self-doubt also requires consistent attention. The inner critic is persistent, and it will return whenever you are outside your comfort zone. But each time you confront it with curiosity, courage, and evidence, you weaken its influence. You send a clear message to your mind that you are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the master of your inner world. This creates momentum. Every victory over self-doubt, no matter how small, reinforces your confidence and builds your resilience. Finally, remember that challenging self-doubt is not about criticizing yourself. It is about redirecting your energy from fear to truth. You are not fighting yourself, you are guiding yourself. You are teaching your mind that your worth and your capability are not defined by fleeting doubts or imagined limitations. This is where transformation begins. When you consistently challenge the inner critic, self-doubt loses its power and confidence becomes your default response. This is the second victory. The moment you confront your doubts, question their validity, and replace them with evidence, perspective, and self-affirmation, you step closer to unshakable confidence. You begin to realize that your mind can become your greatest ally rather than your harshest judge. The third step in transforming self-doubt into unshakable confidence is action. Awareness and challenging your inner critic are powerful, but confidence is built through consistent, intentional steps. It is not a feeling that appears magically. It is the result of doing, showing up, and proving to yourself that you are capable, even when doubt whispers that you are not. Every action you take, no matter how small, sends a message to your mind that you are stronger than your fears. Many women wait for the perfect moment to act, believing that confidence will come first and action will follow. But this is the wrong order. Confidence is born from courage in motion. The more you step forward despite fear, the more proof you gather that you are capable. Speaking up when you feel unsure, trying something new, pursuing a goal despite uncertainty, and setting boundaries even when it feels uncomfortable are all acts that strengthen your inner courage. Each of these actions chips away at the power of self-doubt. It is also important to understand that courage is not the absence of fear. Doubt and fear will never disappear completely. But courage is the ability to move forward in spite of those feelings. When you act despite fear, your brain begins to record these moments as evidence of your resilience and capability. Over time, these small victories accumulate and create momentum. Confidence grows because your actions continually reinforce your self-belief. The more you move forward, the more your mind accepts that you are capable. Another key aspect of action is embracing discomfort. Self-doubt thrives in your comfort zone because it convinces you to stay small, quiet, and unseen. Growth happens outside of that zone, where the mind feels challenged and vulnerable. When you willingly face discomfort, whether it is public speaking, pursuing a difficult goal, or expressing your opinion, you teach yourself that you can handle the unknown. Each act of courage strengthens your confidence muscle and weakens the grip of doubt. Action also allows you to learn from experience. Every attempt, whether it leads to success or failure, provides valuable information. Mistakes are not proof of inadequacy. They are lessons that refine your skills and understanding. By taking action, you shift your focus from imagined limitations to real-world growth. You replace what-ifs with evidence and possibilities. This practical approach to confidence creates a foundation that cannot be shaken by fleeting self-doubt. Finally, action is the bridge between intention and transformation. You can be aware of your doubts and challenge your inner critic, but without taking steps in the real world, change remains theoretical. Each intentional choice, each courageous step transforms your mindset from one of hesitation to one of empowerment. Over time, you will notice a shift. Decisions that once caused anxiety will feel manageable. Challenges that once felt intimidating will feel like opportunities. Your actions create your confidence, and your confidence empowers your actions in return. This is the third victory. By stepping into action, embracing discomfort, and proving yourself through experience, you transform doubt into power. You begin to see that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. You are not defined by fear, hesitation, or uncertainty. You are defined by your courage, your consistency, and your willingness to act. Action makes confidence unshakable. The final step in transforming self-doubt into unshakable confidence is self-compassion. Confidence is not about being perfect or never feeling fear. It is not about never making mistakes or always having all the answers. True confidence is rooted in the way you treat yourself, especially in moments of uncertainty, failure, or struggle. Every woman encounters setbacks. Every woman experiences moments when self-doubt tries to take control. What makes the difference is how you respond. Self-compassion begins with kindness. When you feel anxious, hesitant, or uncertain, do not berate yourself. Do not repeat the critical thoughts that your mind already plays on a loop. Instead, speak to yourself as you would speak to a dear friend. Remind yourself that it is okay to feel doubt. Remind yourself that challenges are part of life, not proof of inadequacy. By responding with understanding rather than criticism, you create a safe inner space where confidence can grow. Another aspect of self-compassion is patience. Transformation does not happen overnight. Confidence is built over time through small intentional steps, repeated consistently. When you stumble or hesitate, do not see it as failure. See it as part of the process. Self-compassion allows you to acknowledge your progress, celebrate your small victories, and continue moving forward, even when doubt resurfaces. It teaches your mind that mistakes are opportunities, not setbacks. Self-compassion also strengthens resilience. When you treat yourself with care and understanding, you reduce the power of fear and anxiety. You create a stable foundation that no external judgment or temporary doubt can shake. Your confidence becomes internal, anchored in your own awareness of your worth rather than dependent on others' approval or recognition. The more compassion you cultivate, the less influence self-doubt has over your choices and your energy. It is important to combine self-compassion with the other steps we discussed: awareness, challenging your inner critic, and consistent action. Awareness helps you recognize self-doubt. Challenging the inner critic weakens its authority. Action proves your capabilities in the real world. Self-compassion ties it all together by allowing you to maintain balance, kindness, and patience with yourself throughout the journey. This combination creates a cycle of growth that strengthens your confidence daily. Finally, remember that self-compassion transforms how you relate to yourself and to life. You no longer need to fear mistakes, setbacks, or criticism. You no longer need to compare yourself to others. You understand that your worth is inherent and your ability to grow is limitless. Self-doubt may still appear, but it no longer defines you. You face it, acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward with courage and clarity. This is the final victory. When you cultivate awareness, challenge your inner critic, take consistent action, and treat yourself with unwavering self-compassion, self-doubt transforms into your greatest teacher. Your confidence becomes unshakable, not because you are perfect, but because you are grounded, resilient, and deeply connected to your own worth. You step into life fully, with courage, clarity, and the knowledge that nothing outside of you can diminish the strength you have built within. You are no longer defined by self-doubt. You are defined by your courage, your persistence, and your unshakable confidence.